Hello vinyl community, how you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. This is my first Vinyl Grabs video of the year. I got a good stack here to share with everybody, including what I picked up from Barnes & Noble's 50% off sale. But I got a lot of really good stuff here, in my opinion, and wanted to share it with everybody. So let me know what you think of these, if anything jumps out at you. And let me know down in the comments. I love to converse back and forth in the comments section. So right off the bat, I wanted to show something that I'm honestly blown away to have. I bit the bullet and I got the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab Ultra Disc one-step pressing of the album Fragile by Yes. So pretty stoked to have this. Yeah, kind of blown away. I haven't opened it yet. Right now I'm channeling my inner Robert Z and keeping it sealed. But I'm sure I'll be opening it soon. So these Ultra Disc one-step pressings are very limited. This copy is limited to 7,000. I got number 2575 there. These are pressed on super vinyl and using Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab's Ultra Disc one-step pressing process. It's 2 albums on, remastered at 45 RPM at RTI. There's the Ultra Disc label. So Fragile by Yes from 1971, just an all-time classic album. I love this album. It has a couple of my favorite Yes songs, including Heart of the Sunrise. But really excited to have this. Honestly, I couldn't pass it up. I just had to get it. So that's the first thing I'm going to show. And now, along with that order, I also picked up a Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab pressing of Bill Evans and Jim Hall's Undercurrent. Just an all-time classic album here of piano and guitar. Of course, Bill Evans on piano and Jim Hall on guitar. This is on Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab's silver label, and what I think that means is typically original master recordings are just that, the original master recordings and then remastered from those originals. And these silver label editions here, let's say Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, I guess wherever the original tapes aren't available, they get the closest version of the original and press from that. So let's have a look at this. Gorgeous record, very mellow. But yeah, just really, this is one album that I've wanted for a long time, and MoFi.com had it on sale for $19.99, so I couldn't pass it up. So those are the 2 things I got from Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. Definitely excited to have both of these. Okay, next is what I picked up from Barnes & Noble. So everybody's been showing what they're getting from Barnes & Noble in this 50% off sale that they've been having. So a week or two ago, I went to Barnes & Noble, my local Barnes & Noble, and to be honest, my local Barnes & Noble didn't have that great of selection. So I managed to find two things from my first visit, and then several days later, on my lunch break, I drove a little further out and visited a different Barnes & Noble and was able to find two more things there. So the first two things I found was George Harrison's Brainwashed. This is his final studio album that came out posthumous after he died. What's the word? Posthumously. Had this on CD when it originally came out. He was working on this before he passed away, and then his good friend Jeff Lynne and his son Danny finished it up and then put it out, and it came out a year after George had passed. So this is a 2017 pressing, and it's terrific. Big fan of this album. I loved it since it came out, and very, very happy to have it on vinyl now. So, and to get it for a good price is even better. There's the inside, and this comes with interesting book here. There's the man himself. So, yeah. George Harrison, Brainwashed. Happy to have that. The second thing I bought, this was the cheapest one of the bunch that I got. I got this for $8.50, and it's Coldplay's second album, A Rush of Blood to the Head. Say what you will about Coldplay, but this is a wonderful album, and I've hadn't listened to it in a long, long time, but always enjoyed it. Although it's very formulaic, like a lot of Coldplay music is, I find it very enjoyable. This pressing is from 2002, actually, when the album came out, and it's a terrific pressing. It sounds great. Super quiet, dead quiet, and it's terrific. So, before my daughter was born in 2012, my wife and I actually got to see Coldplay, so we have that memory, and this is just good to have, because my wife enjoys it as well. So, cool pickup there. Now, the next two things I got at the second Barnes & Noble. The first is Pink Floyd's Relics. This is kind of a bit of a comp plus B-sides from 1971, from, let's see, the first several Pink Floyd albums, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, Saucer Full of Secrets, the More soundtrack, and then some B-sides. So I've never owned Relics, not even on CD, so happy to have this. Great price. The only problem was they had put the price sticker over top of the nice Pink Floyd hype sticker. So that hype sticker was ruined. I wasn't able to salvage that and keep it like I normally like to do. So these Pink Floyd reissues from 2018 have this nice sticker here that talks about the album, and I wasn't able to salvage that, but happy to have this. I had to immediately get it into a sleeve because this white textured cover, I'm sure, will get dirty through multiple touches. So this is one album I'll probably store the record outside of the jacket to kind of keep that cover pristine. And the final thing from Barnes & Noble that I haven't opened yet is Jimi Hendrix, Both Sides of the Sky. Real happy to have this. This was another 2018 release, and this has a lot of Jimmy had some help with this with these songs, so it had like Stephen Stills and Johnny Winters on a track, Buddy Miles, yeah, so they're, does songs like Manish Boy, the Muddy Waters song, really good version of Woodstock on here. Yeah, so happy to have this. And I haven't even opened it yet, but there's the sticker. Alright, now some more jazz. So I got another Tone Poet release, and this time it's Tina Brooks, Minor Move. Excellent album here. Originally recorded in 1958 and then released in 1980, and now Blue Note has re-released it again in 2019 in this Tone Poet series. Sounds incredible, as you would expect. Beautiful packaging, as you would expect. So players on here: Tina Brooks on tenor sax, the great Lee Morgan on trumpet, Sonny Clark on piano, Doug Watkins on bass, and Art Blakey on drums. Really love this album. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was Tina Brooks's first album as a band leader on Blue Note. I'd say this is probably how many Tone Poets I have now. So I think this is the fifth Tone Poet I have, Tone Poet release I have, and this is right up there at the top, one or two. I think exceptional album here. Really love this album. Next, I am adding to the Impulse collection here. Real happy to find this one in almost pristine condition. This is Art Blakey, A Jazz Message. Beautiful condition here. This is in mono. It's A45 there in mono, as you can see. Very clean. And the label, the record looks great. It's got, this one has a few marks on it, but plays really great. So I'd put it at even though it has a couple marks. The play quality is still VG plus. So happy to have this. It has McCoy Tyner on piano, of course Art Blakey on drums, Sonny Stitt on saxophone, and Art Davis on bass. So really great stuff. And this came out in 1964, I think. It was recorded in 1963. I think it was released in 1964. Now another album in amazing shape is John Coltrane Meditations, and this is an original mono A9 9001 or 9110. Beautiful shape there. So this, can't remember, did this album follow up A Love Supreme? It may have, and it came out in 1966. So I think this followed up A Love Supreme, and this is like the next step. So this starts getting into free territory, but still has some spiritual passages. So really happy to have this. Great album in incredible condition. There's the Impulse label. Yeah, so, and this I got for a great price. Sticking with some free jazz, here's Don Cherry's Relativity Suite. Don Cherry and the Jazz Composers Orchestra. This is on JCOA Records. This is my first album on that label, JCOA. Dave over at Local Bandography, I believe I saw him post this. I think he was the one that first made me aware of this. I actually couldn't remember, but I was talking with him, and he said he was probably the one that had showed it. So this is definitely free jazz, and it has a lot of Eastern elements into it. I mean, the first track is called Tantra. It's got a lot of players on this one, including so Dewey Redman on tenor sax, Charlie Hayden on bass, Paul Motion on percussion, Ed Blackwell on drums, and the final track, March of the Hobbits, is like almost like a bit of a marching band, with some drum soloing by Ed Blackwell. So very cool album. Happy to have it. There's the label. See that? And this came out in, did I say, 1973. And this is yeah, 1973. So real happy to have this one. So Chris Has the Spins. Great channel in the VC. He recently has he's hit a honey hole where he's getting a lot of great jazz albums for really cheap. It's a professor who's kind of selling off his collection, and Chris has been hitting him up a few times and digging through his collection and coming home with some great stuff. and for I think they were a couple bucks a piece for most of them, if not all. But he's been showing what he's been collecting and making comments of stuff that he's thinking about not holding on to, and putting the offer out there if anyone's interested to let him know. So his most recent time he did that, he showed a couple albums, and I inquired with him, or corresponded with Chris through Instagram. We struck up a deal, and I got a couple albums from him. The first is First Encounter by Mal Waldron and Gary Peacock. And I have Chris's note here. It says, Bill, hey man, I hope these records find you safely and quickly. Thanks for being a great friend here in the VC. Enjoy these jazz classics. Chris has the spins. So, yeah, Mal Waldron and Gary Peacock. So Mal Waldron on the piano, Gary Peacock on the bass. And this also has Hiroshi Murakami on drums. And I had never heard this album before, but this is a great album. Beautiful. And Hiroshi Murakami on the drums, he's spectacular. Really, really great stuff here. This is from 1976. Okay, this was originally released in 1971. This is a 1976 repress, I guess. But great album. So thanks so much, Chris. I'm really, really enjoying this one. I love Mal Waldron. So yeah, great stuff. And this is on the, I should have shown it, it's on the Catalyst label. Looks like that. So really happy to have this in the collection now. Really enjoyed it. And then the other thing I got from Chris is a copy of Yusef Lateef, Lost in Sound. I haven't listened to this one yet. This is on Charlie Parker Records. So this was originally released in 1962. This is a reissue, but I'm not, or repress, but I'm not sure of the year. It's probably early 60s, still 63 or so, maybe even 62. That's the label, Charlie Parker label. The original release of this had a red label. So like I said, I haven't been able to pinpoint the year of this pressing. But really happy to have this one as well. And it says Yusef Lateef on tenor saxophone, Vincent Pitts on trumpet, John Horman on piano, George Scott on drums, Cliff Jarvis on drums, and Ray McKinney on bass. So, Yusef Lateef, Lost in Sound. Thank you, Chris Has the Spins, for those two albums. Really appreciate you striking a deal with me for those. Now, just a few more here. So I picked up two more Tangerine Dream albums. One which was at the top of my list that I wanted to find and pick up. It finally found an original UK pressing of this album, and it's Phaedra. This is from 1974. It's on the Virgin label. So this is German electronic music. Great album. Really happy to have it. There's the twins on the Dragon label there, created by Roger Dean. So the Tangerine Dream collection is filling out rather nicely. So Phaedra from 1974, and then from 1975, Ricochet. Another great album. This one is a original German pressing. So there's that label on Virgin. So really happy to have these albums. And then my first Eloy album. This is a German progressive rock, space rock band, and this is their 1980 album, Colors. Terrific album, really good. Strong album. I really enjoyed this. I don't have anything else by Eloy on compact disc or anything, but I do stream them online every now and again. So this album is on the Harvest label, and it also has this lyric insert. So I have a bunch of other Eloy albums on my want list, so hopefully we'll be adding more into the collection down the road. And then finally, I was able to find another Gentle Giant album that's missing from my collection. I am trying to complete the Gentle Giant discography, and this is probably their least popular album, and it's Giant for a Day. What year? 78. So yeah, not a favorite, but I wanted it on vinyl, and I now have it. Here's the cutout head that you could cut out and make your own face mask. Yeah, so Gentle Giant was trying, punk had come out, music was definitely changing. Gentle Giant was trying to find their place. Progressive rock really wasn't cool anymore. So they were trying to find their place in the business, and put out this album. So, like I said, not a favorite. Actually, some of it is even a little bit new wave here. But you know what? The musicianship is still solid on here. And it's not all bad, but... And this was cheap too, so definitely happy to have it. So after picking this one up, there's 2 more Gentle Giant studio albums that I need, and actually one is on the way. So once that arrives, I will just need one more. And the Gentle Giant discography on vinyl will be completed. So wow, sorry this was so long. I know it was a lot to get through here. Thank you for watching. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about these, or anything you have to say. Really appreciate you all being here. I've gotten a bunch of new subscribers over the past month to 3 months or so. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that you're here. Yeah, just thank you. So that's most recent stuff that I've picked up. More videos coming up, and there's contests starting to pop up again, so a lot of contests to enter. I think I can think of at least 3 that I still need to enter, and I will be doing so soon, time permitting. But thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Take care now.